we've loved the incredible body of work you've had. You've worked for so long in this industry. What have been some of your favorite projects to work on?
Well, obviously, Oz was like one of the most, life-changing experiences for me. Um, but also, Weird Science back in the early 90s was one of the most fun shows ever because it was every year, every week, it was just completely bizarre stuff that they let us do whatever we wanted. Um, but also like The Purge, I did a couple years ago. The
Mhm.
Purge, that movie was so freaky to me, the first one when I saw it. So I was really happy to work on that. Uh, I don't know. It's they're all different. And what's your favorite? What do you like, Jamie?
I I looked at the list before we started talking, and it's just insane. I liked Defiance. Uh,
But
there's
you know
just
what? Also, Monster was incredible too. Working with Charlize Theron, uh, and Patty Jenkins. I mean, that was an incredible opportunity.
well, we're talking here about your time on Oz, and this was just such a fascinating arc for you as this character. How was, if you can recall, Tobias maybe originally described to you?
Um, well, Tom, I was working on in Baltimore on Homicide a little bit, and Tom said that he wanted to talk to me about something, and I went up, and he told me that he was thinking about two different characters for me in this prison show that he was going to do for HBO. One was like a guard, and the other one was, which he sort of told me about what that character was. And then the other one was this guy who is a lawyer who goes in from drunk driving. I don't know that he said drunk driving, but just sort of like this fish out of water guy who ends up in prison that shouldn't be there. And, of course, that sounded like uh, exciting, challenging. I don't know if I could have actually wrapped my head around everything that, back then. I was saying the other day, we there were three networks and Fox basically back then, and so all of a sudden we were doing stuff that was unimaginable before that. So but yeah, and then he created this amazing character that I was so lucky to play.
You visited him again last night. What was it like for you? Were there memories flooding back to you? Were there, stories that you didn't share previously that you were recalling?
um yeah, what was cool about it was because it was nerve-wracking because on some level you're like, I think I can go back there, but I, I'm I don't know, like it was so long ago. And I watched a couple episodes just to get a sense of stuff that I was doing. But I have to say, Tom's writing is so good that the rhythm, and once Dean, um, who's so incredible to work with, he and I working together, and just all of a sudden it just started to fall into place once we started working it out and working it, and and yeah, like the pain of my relationship with my mother, was something that was really strong. And just how she had, turned her back on me and stuff like that. That was those things were pretty painful.
I'm sure, but also, this was such an iconic character. Talk about working with Christopher Meloni and sort of developing that chemistry the two of you had. Was it just innate between the two of you, or did you all spend some time together to sort of flesh out where the feelings begin between the two of you?
Yeah. Well, when he came, it was funny. I heard that somebody was coming to the show. I didn't really know. I didn't know Chris before that. I mean, I knew I had seen. What was it Bounce? Is that the movie that he did with the Matrix people? Right? Is that what it was called?
Right. I think that's what it was.
Yeah. Anyway, so I had seen that, but I didn't really remember who exactly he was. Anyway, so but I heard that it was going to be something that was going to, Tom gave me little hints at what kind of a relationship it was going to be. And then, so I was like, oh man, this is going to be weird. I wonder what it's going to be like to work with this guy that I don't know. Right. And then the first time I saw him on the set, he came walking in to me. He met with Tom and then he came through the common room to meet me. And he was wearing a Tool, the band Tool shirt.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I love this guy. This is my guy. So then, and then he and I went out to dinner one night, and I was because having worked on the show for a year, and there was this whole thing at the time where there was a lot of actors who were saying, like in 6 Degrees of Separation,
Right.
like Will Smith didn't want to kiss. What was that guy's name? Like
Kevin
Michael Hall. Was it Anthony Michael Hall
Kevin James, he did it
in the movie?
in Hitch, he did it.
Oh, right. But so he kissed Kevin James in Hitch.
Will Smith, yes, just a quick one.
Oh yeah. Anyway, so there was this whole thing, and there was a lot of talk about man-on-man action, and just like it was very negative, and people didn't want to do it. Right? There was a lot of stories like that at that time, and so I took him out to dinner, and I said, "Listen, this show is real, and I think I know it's going to be weird to start doing whatever we're going to have to do. We really didn't know exactly what was happening then, but I said we should try and make it sexy." And Chris looks at me and goes, "Wow." But and then he sort of got on board, and I had to say, I mean, I think it proved to be, because we didn't shy away from it. If anything, we tried to make it more. And yeah, he was amazing. He's amazing to work with. I still refer to him as my boyfriend.
Yeah, I talked to Dean Winters the other day, and he said you all reconnected right before ATX for like a family dinner. What was it like for you guys to reunite after all this time?
Yeah, well, I mean, I see those guys every once in a while, but we got together with Rita, which was just, she is incredible. I mean, it was so good to see. I can't believe she's about to be 90.
I know.
So so it was great, and also, like for me personally, I'm married, I've got 2 kids, an 8-year-old girl and a 4-year-old son. So this year has been tough. It's been fun, but it's been tough. And so to just go out with these people who I know so well and love so much and just laugh our heads off. I mean, I mean, Rita, God bless her, man. She is just hilarious. She's hilarious.
Such a spitfire.
Yeah. She really is. And so it was great. It was great. And then Chris and I actually walked home. He walked me home. Anyway, and we had this incredible conversation. He's a great guy. He's a great guy. I really love that guy a lot.
Speaking of everything that's been happening recently, what have you been busy working on? Have you been busy working on anything during this time?
I just did an episode of Law and Order. I have been, not right now. I've worked on over the pandemic. We did this like last January or February, I think. The Zoe thing. Did you see it?
No, and I didn't get a chance to see that one yet.
Okay. So So, and then I got offered a couple of the things early in the year, and I just did not like. They were out of town, and I couldn't wrap my head around traveling with COVID.
Of course.
So yeah, taking it slow, and now it's summer break.
So they're still with you all the time.
Yeah, yeah, but they're fun. Now we don't have to like school is it's been great. They have both actually. My son has been in school 5 days a week because he's little, but my yeah. But anyway. And so then I did after actually 2 nights after the thing with Chris, I took my daughter Lily to see the Rita Moreno documentary, Just a Girl.
Mm.
We had such a good time. We went and then we went to the after party. I don't know how my wife, who's right over there, agreed to it.
But we're not jinxing things for future. We're gonna go forward with it.
But she kept looking. Lily kept looking at me, going, "Oh my God, I'm having the best time. This is so much fun."
Oh. Those are the moments you're gonna treasure forever.
Yeah, for sure.
What does it mean to you to be invited to revisit your role on Oz, and what does it still mean to you after all these years to be a part of such a groundbreaking series?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
We getting to revisit you here and Oz. What does it mean to you to be asked to come back and revisit this incredible iconic role? And what does it mean to you to have been a part of the series itself?
Um, yeah, well, I mean, it's it. I mean, it's incredible, right? On so many levels, right? I learned so much about acting and just like being around a bunch of people. I mean, it was it was HBO's first show, and it was very bare bones, right? I mean, it was not glamorous dressing rooms. People were there because of the work, and we busted our butts, and and it just and it's. I mean, to this day, just today, I was walking down the street, and some guy was like, "Hey, Beecher."
That
Yeah,
was literally going to be my next question. Do you get still recognized for this iconic role? I mean, it's got to be one that stands out to most people of the body of work that you do.
yeah. I mean, sometimes it's Wayne's World, but mostly it's us. And yeah, I love it. It's fun.
You do seamlessly seem to jump between comedy and dramatic roles. Is there a preference that you have, or is it just something that finds you that really speaks to you?
Yeah, yeah. It depends. It depends on the piece. I don't know. And also it seems like it's certain stuff comes your way at different times. It's like when I'm totally forgetting the name of Alpha House. I think Alpha House. That was an incredible show, and to work with that bunch of people. Did you ever see that show Alpha House with John Goodman, where they all played senators?
Oh, that one I
John,
didn't get to see, but now I'm going to revisit that one.
it's like I think they did 2 or 3, and it was written by Gary Trudeau,
Ooh.
and just hilarious. It's just hilarious, and so yeah, and when that came my way, I was exactly what I needed. I feel like stuff comes to you when you need it, you know.
Well, what would you like to say then to everyone who are continued fans and supporters of the incredible work you do and continue to do?
Stay strong. Keep no, I don't know. Thank you. I love you. Keep on rocking.